For an opening statement, and then we'll take questions.
That's a tough one. You know, really, to lose a game by 1 point, and we gave them 35 points on turnovers. We had 2 turnovers in the red zone. The turnover they picked up and scored on. We had 2 more turnovers that led to their scores, and we really had no business even being in the game. But then again, we find a way to get back in it. We get some stops. We drive down the field, and to not even be able to hit an extra point to put a game in overtime is embarrassing. So, I mean, it's just snap it, protect it, kick it, and that's why we lost. So just very sloppy with the turnovers. You know, to jump on a 4th and 1 when the whole stadium knows they're going to hard count us. Just really did some poor things out there today.
Was that extra point at the very end the most disappointing part about the game for you?
I mean, the whole thing's disappointing. 6 turnovers is disappointing. The blocked extra point, turned the ball over twice in the red zone, personal foul, jumping on a 4th and 1. I mean, it's just, you know, we've had 2 games that things happened easily, and we went up and down the field, and today it wasn't so easy, and we really at times self-destructed. And the result is that we lost. You know, hats off to Wyoming. They didn't turn the football over, and because of that, they deserved to win. But you know, there's a sick feeling in your stomach after that game. That's for sure.
So you could pinpoint the mistake. You saying that you feel that the team was just not ready to be in a close game situation?
I mean, you know, you can break it down any way you want. The bottom line is we turned the ball over 6 times. We did hit an extra point. So were we not ready? You know, when adversity hit, instead of stopping it, we just allowed it to keep happening. 1 turnover led to another. I mean, you lose 6 turnovers, you don't even deserve to be in the game.
Coach, when you look at those turnovers, are those more a factor of Wyoming making good plays defensively, or more a factor you guys think?
Anytime there's a turnover, it's just a lack of ball security. I mean, occasionally maybe a guy makes a great play and a pick, you know, but to have the ball on the 1-yard line and fumble it because of a bad exchange, that's just elementary football. You know, to not have the thing high and tight coming out, and they pick it up and score. You know, just it was bad football. So, I mean, you know, I'm sure they got their hands in there and did good things, but some of it was us just not fundamentally being good.
How would you evaluate Matt's performance today?
Very up and down. You know, obviously he led us on a nice rally at the end, but at times I don't think we executed nearly as well as we needed to. And whether that was just at the quarterback position or the pieces around him, it's hard to say that until you watch the film.
You mentioned the ball security. Was there also maybe some poor decision-making and stuff that led to some of those turnovers, like maybe on the 1 interception, looked like maybe there was a running lane and tried to maybe force the ball in, or is that being too specific?
Well, you know, when you get down to the red zone, there's an internal clock. And there's only so much time you have in that pocket, and it's going to start collapsing. And so I thought the one, we hung on to the ball a little too long. The second one, I thought the guy broke off his route short. If he just kept running the route, at least breaks it up, and there's not a pick. And, you know, again, we've had 2 games that things went smooth, and they went fairly easy. And today it wasn't smooth, and it wasn't easy. And instead of grinding it and finding a way to win the game, we just imploded. We self-destructed.
Dave, you talked about Matt on the last drive, though. I mean, he had some downsides, but on the last drive.
Yeah, I mean, he made some great throws and some good reads and was accurate with the ball and made plays with his feet. But, I mean, you know, we had games like that last year that we played poorly for 3 quarters, and then we have this furious rally at the end. And, you know, it can't be that way this year.
We talked a little bit about the play, your defense. I mean, they had a couple of short fields for touchdowns. It looked like they held them in check for the most part.
They played well. I mean, they found a ways to get off the field. You know, we gave up the one-wheel route that led to a score in the beginning of the second half. But other than that, I mean, on defense, I thought we kept things in front of us. I think we're tackling much better. We're finding ways to get off the field on 3rd down. And, you know, you certainly played well enough on defense to win that game. We gave them short fields, and we gave them easy points. You know, then they converted those short fields, but you know, I don't think we played great on defense, but we certainly played well enough to win that game.
official comment on Friday with one player suspended.
Yeah, we had a discipline issue, and it's really, one guy had an issue, the one guy suspended had a fairly serious issue in our program before, and, he was certainly made aware that if any other issue, and he would be suspended. With the other two guys, we've had no issues with them in our program, and based on the nature of what they did, there'll be team discipline, and we'll handle it, and I think that's fairly consistent with how we've handled other issues here.
Do you think that had an effect on the play of the team today?
I would have a hard time saying.
You are convinced that on the fourth down play that your kid jumped off sides, they weren't going to snap the ball?
No, I think they were going to snap it, but they were going to hard count us and get that clock low, and we made it easy for them.
You also, on the personal foul penalty that took you out of the red zone, there was no official. What exactly happened there? Do you know?
Well, he said the one guy on our team, Chip Robinson, need a guy in the pile.
Look at the play of Wyoming's quarterback. You looked at him and thought he was going to be pretty good. As a freshman, how would you evaluate his play?
I think he's a very good player. For him to play as well as he has with as much poise for a true freshman, he's an impressive young man. I'm sure he's going to have a great career for him.
Is one of the most disappointing things when you look back at last season and hoping that you were over that type of thing?
Yeah, there's no question. Last season we lost 4 games in the last play of the game. That exact field goal block we have worked to death this week. We struggled kicking the ball last year. We have invested a lot of time and a lot of reps in our PAT field goal. We do it different ways, and that exact block we worked on, and we protected it all week. And at the end of the day, you got to be able to kick an extra point. And to not be able to execute that is it's a hard way to go down.
Coach, is that a physical or a mental error in your opinion?
I mean, physical, he got run over. I mean, he stepped, he punched, and the guy just, he overpowered him inside. And I would guess the kick was probably a little bit low. So a lot of times you can give up those inside pressures, but if the snap is good and the timing's good and the kick is high, you survive it. So we give up penetration. It's probably a little bit of a low kick, and the result is we lose a game by a point.
Dave, any thoughts about going for 2 at that point?
No. I mean, we're at home. I believe we were the better football team. I didn't feel it was, we were trying to pull an upset. And the way our defense was playing, the way we were moving the football, it was a pretty quick decision. But I thought at that point, if we got to overtime, we'd win the game.
Anything else for Coach? Coach, thanks.
Okay, thank you.